闇に輝く金財現れろギャラクシーアイズフォトンドラゴン
Hey everyone, my name is Sean and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution Online Ranked. In today's video I'm going to be playing some Galaxy Eyes Photon. A little bit about myself behind the curtain. Since doing Legacy of the Duelist videos, I've become a professional player in real life, and for the last year and a half or so, I've also become a tournament organizer. Now, because we are in lockdown, we've been doing our locals online, and a week or so ago, I made the suggestion to everyone about how about we do a character-based tournament. Everybody who entered the tournament was given a character at random, or somewhat random. You were able to choose from three or so characters, and then you had to build a deck around that using that character's archetype and do the best you can. And I'm glad to say I actually managed to get third. I was doing a lot of practicing with this deck on Legacy of the Duelist beforehand, and so in today we're going to get to see some of my favourite replays from practicing with this deck. So let's get into it. So what I've done so far is I've used 2 Photon monsters and special summoned them to the field. Photon Vanisher, the pinkish turtle monster with 2000 attack you see there, has the effect that when it is special summoned it can add a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from my deck to my hand. Then I've used Trade-In to discard my Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to draw more cards. Fortunately, I managed to draw into one of my main starters, which is Photon Orbital. And Photon Orbital can equip itself to a monster, and it has an onboard effect. Its onboard effect is that you can send it to the graveyard to add any Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a really good searcher for this deck, and the card which I think I just went and got was Galaxy Soldier. Now, I am counting how many summons I've done so far. I am always concerned that my opponent may be playing a hand trap like Nibiru, so I'm going to try and play around it. So I've normal summoned Galaxy Knight, and Galaxy Knight, when it can only be is an overweight monster that can be summoned without tribute if you have a Photon monster on your board. So I was able to normal summon it without tribute, and then when you summon it this way, you can special summon back Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your graveyard. This gives me 2 level 8s and it has allowed me to make the rank 8 summon number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord is one of the best extenders, but also is a great defensive card for this deck. It is able to negate monster effects, so this is going to protect me from any hand traps that Hades Potato now tries to use against me, which is why I really wanted to summon that card there and then before he could hit me with something big like, say, Nibiru or, I don't know, an Ash or anything like that. Now we're going to go into our Galaxy Soldier play, and I think everybody knows this combo. This combo is, I guess you could call it a combo, but this combo is as old as time. This is our 2 level 5 special summons, and this lets us make into Cyber Dragon Infinity. I remember the first time someone did this against me in Legacy of the Duelist Original, and I was like, this is the most busted thing. Cyber Dragon Infinity first turn, how the hell am I supposed to beat that? And yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. It's actually really easy to deal with Infinity nowadays, but still a very powerful card, and it's a great form of defense to protect your board. So first we summon that Cyber Dragon Nova, and now we're going to overlay our Cyber Dragon Nova into the rank 6 Cyber Dragon Infinity. So at the moment, when Infinity hits the board, we have 2 forms of negation on board to protect ourselves from my opponent's decisions. So we have Infinity, which can negate any spell, trap or monster effect, and we also have Photon Lord, which can negate a monster effect. That's not all, however. This isn't going to be enough to win me the game, and if my opponent manages to do something such as play through multiple forms of disruption, which most players are able to do so, this really won't allow me to win the game. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to set up more disruption with my last 2 cards on the board, or do I want to kind of set myself up for the next turn or so? So I'm just having a look around my edge there, thinking what options I can. I could go for my rank 4, my Star Lead Photon Blast Dragon, which will actually protect my monsters from destruction and target effects. But instead, I'm going to go for the Link 2, and I'm going to play it a little bit safer by summoning Galaxy Eyes Sulphur Dragon. Galaxy Eyes Sulphur Dragon has the effect that when this card is Link summoned, you can target one Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So the card I'm going to go and get is go and try and get Galaxy Knight. The reason why I want Galaxy Knight is because Galaxy Knight is a 1-card rank 8, and if somehow I manage to get my Galaxy Photon Dragon back into my graveyard, I'll be able to do a rank summon again with this card. It's not the only card that I'm going to be able to extend with though. Another card I'm going to be able to use, and I think I will use in a moment, in response to the ability of Awakening Dragon, is going to be number 90's other effect. Number 90, while it can negate monster effects by detaching the material, it also has another effect, and the other effect is during your opponent's turn, you can take one Photon or Galaxy card from your deck and add it to your hand or attach it to this card as material. I never really use the effect to attach it to attach it as a material. I don't really get much out of doing that, but being able to search out any Galaxy or Photon card from my deck and add it to my hand is really good, especially when you can search a card like Galaxy Trance. Galaxy Trance is like the perfect card you want to have on your second turn of play, because it is a one card rank 8 basically. It does require you have a certain monster in the graveyard, but which is why it's a bit slow to do on turn 1, but and it costs 2,000 life points to use, but it's a really great follow-up play. So I've got Galaxy Knight and Galaxy Trance as my follow-up play, so I'm feeling quite comfortable with what's going on here. My opponent now reveals that he's playing Blue Eyes White Dragon, and he summons out Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Blue Eyes Alternative has the effect that he can destroy a card on the field by activating this effect, so I'm going to probably have to try and negate this somehow with one of my cards. And he chooses to now normal summon Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Maiden with Eyes of Blue can be a problem too. She protects against attacks, but also she is a tuner, so he should be able to go into something like Azure Eyes White Dragon as well. So now he uses Alternative's effect, and he's going to target one of my cards to negate it. Let's see what he chooses to target. I mean, there's quite a few threats on the board. He goes for the Cyber Dragon Infinity. He's most scared of that card, and so I'm going to respond, and I'm going to protect the Cyber Dragon Infinity, and he chooses to rage quit and leaves the game, which is really unfortunate. I probably would have been able to win that game anyway, because I had two forms of negation. Galaxy Eye Soulfare can also destroy a card on the field by discarding cards, so who knows how that would have turned out, but I think I was very confident in that one. So that kind of showed you kind of what a first turn board is like. This game is going to be a little bit different. This is going to show you what a bad hand is like with this deck. Excuse me one moment. And then, so let's show how this goes. You can see that I have the trap card, Tachyon. I can't even remember what it's called. I know that it's an Omni Negate, basically a Solemn Judgment for this deck, but I've now taken it out of my deck, and this was the game that made me decide, you know what, this card's a bit of a brick. I don't like it. I do like cards that can negate all effects. I do think they're really powerful and worthwhile having, but this card's not even searchable. It has no extra effects, and so, you know, if in this situation I had just one extra starter or one extra anything, I would have been in a really better situation. So I'm going to play Pot of Desires here. I'm really scared that Antico has a card like Ash Blossom in his hand. If he does, then that could have really ruined my game there. Unfortunately, he doesn't stop me from doing my draw, and so we managed to get 2 copies of Galaxy Brave from my deck to my hand. This isn't really a really great hand though, because I have no real true starters. I've got tons of extenders, but no real true starters. I am going to be able to make some play, but not a really good one. So first of all, we're going to go with Galaxy Brave, or actually no, we have a trade-in, so let's dig through our deck at first and let's use trade-in to get more cards. So we discard 1 Galaxy Brave and draw 2, and we get a Nibiru and Galaxy Trance. This is still not a really good hand, but we're going to try and make do with what we can. So we use Galaxy Brave's effect. Galaxy Brave must target 1 Photon monster in your hand and reveal it, and if you do, its level becomes the level of that Photon monster, and you can special summon this card. So he goes from being a level 8 to a level 4 because I targeted Photon Vanisher. And now I'm going to special summon Photon Vanisher because I have a Galaxy or Photon monster on the board, and Photon Vanisher effect kicks in, and it's going to allow me to add Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from my deck to my hand. Now, there's nothing I can really do with this Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, really. What I could technically do, and there's definitely a possibility, is I could make Starliege Photon Blast Dragon. This will allow me to special summon my Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and it will also give me some protection, but it doesn't really give me much of a follow-up play for later on. Actually, that wasn't too bad a play, because I actually could have set my counter trap. Yeah, I actually could have set the counter trap, had some onboard negation, protected my monster using the XE Monsters effect, and I have Galaxy Trance for a follow-up play, so I actually think this was a mistake. I actually decided to go for the Union Carrier play to go and search out Photon Orbital. So, you know what, actually that wasn't too bad, or wasn't as bricky as I thought, now that I'm reviewing the tapes and seeing what I did. But it is what it is. So I choose to activate Photon Orbital. This is going to allow me to add any Galaxy Eyes or Photon monster from my deck to my hand. And after much deliberation, I'm going to go for Galaxy Knight because it can potentially give me a follow-up play. If I can get a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon into the graveyard. Yeah, well, mistakes were made. At this point, there's nothing really I can do, so I choose to set a Tachyon. I honestly don't know what the second word for that one is. Like transmigration, maybe? Sure, whatever. That counter trap, Tachyon Transmigration, is a really good counter trap. Not only is it an Omni Negate, but it negates all the other cards that your opponent used in the same chain before this card was activated. So if you activate its chain 4 or higher, you get to actually negate 2 of your opponent's cards. And it not only does it negate the cards, but it shuffles them back into their deck, which is really powerful. And Tico reveals that he's playing Ancient Gears, so he activates Gear Town and he normal summons out Ancient Gear Frame. This is going to allow him to discard 1 card and add 1 Ancient Gear Golem or 1 spell trap that specifically lists Ancient Gear Golem in its text. So he goes and he adds a Ancient Gear Fusion. Ancient Gear Fusion can be a problem because it can allow you to bring out a very, very big boy. And now he is going to special summon out Turbo Booster. You can use tribute this card to destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. I don't think the effect matters. He's going to now make a Link 2. And he's now going to make Ancient Gear Ballista. I've never actually seen anybody use this. This is a very, very new card that came out in Duel Overload literally in March 2020 in the TCG. So let's see what this does. If this card is Link Summon, you can add 1 Ancient Gear monster or 1 Gear Town from your deck to your hand. And if you do, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card that you control. I see, so he's going to be able to destroy his own Gear Town. Now, if anybody who's familiar with Ancient Gears and understands their old school strategies, destroying Gear Town is their main line of play. Oh, he can destroy my monster too? No, he destroys the spell trap and he takes 1 of my monsters and turns it attack to 0. Wow, that's really, really good. This looks like it can lead to an OTK. So Gear Town's effect, when it is destroyed, can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from the deck to the field. Again, really, really powerful. And he goes for Ancient Gear Wyvern. Now this, when it is normal or special summon, allows him to add an Ancient Gear card from his deck to his hand. I have no idea what that card was, to be honest with you, but I don't think it'll be long before we see it. And now he plays Dark Hole, and this really, really, really caught me off guard. Choosing to destroy his own monsters. I was like, wow, what the hell is going on here? We're going to find out what's going on here, because his monsters, I have no idea, actually, to be honest with you. I thought maybe his monsters float. I guess not. So Ancient Gear Catapult is now activated. This switches the card. And the reason why he wanted to do that, I see. Yeah, this requires you control no monsters. While you control no monsters, you can target 1 spell trap card, and then you can, I guess, destroy it, and you get to special summon that Ancient Gear Golem through Gear Town as well, I guess. I'm a little bit lost, to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with these strategies, but man, it's really powerful. So Gear Towns are going to kick in. So he got 1 Ancient Gear Golem onto the field. I'm going to assume Catapult summoned that one. And now Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon is being summoned through his second copy of Gear Town. And yeah, that's a problem. That 6k damage on the board there. Looks like it's going to go to an 18k. And then here comes the Ancient Gear Fusion. It's now at this point that I am going to decide, listen, enough is enough. Enough of this stupid Ancient Gear spamming. Yeah, Crowler, you were never a good teacher. I don't know how you have a PhD in dueling, but if you do, if anybody knows how he got it, let me know, because I want one. But who cares? It doesn't matter. We're gonna use Nibiru, and we're gonna wipe all the monsters off the board. Nibiru can be activated when your opponent has summoned 5 monsters or more this turn, and what it allows me to do is to tribute all monsters on the field, special summon it to the field, and he gets a lovely token with attack and defense equal to the attack and defense of the monsters that were tributed. Of course, when you use this card, you want to put that token nicely in defense, so your opponent can't actually attack with you. And he realizes at this point, you know what, you've taken all my resources, GG, and that ends the game. So that was a bad hand. That was a really, really bad hand. We managed to still win that game thanks to good old Nibiru. Although I still did have a follow-up play after that, so he wasn't too bad. On to the final game for today's video, and we are playing against Sword of 132. I really wanted to add one more replay to this because I just want to show you how good and how consistent this deck can be when you are playing well with it. So my opponent has chosen to go first. I noticed that he's played a 40 card deck but with 3 extra monsters in the extra deck. Really doesn't tell me much information about what he could do. It's a bit weird. Maybe he just hasn't got all the monsters he wants to, but at least he's played a 40 card deck. If you're not playing a 40 card deck, you're playing something like 50 or so, normally I look at your deck and go, oh, either this is some kind of janky strategy or you just don't know what you're doing. So he sets one monster and pass, which really isn't normally a good sign, so we're going to try and pop off here and see what we can do. So first I activate Photon Sanctuary, and Photon Sanctuary allows me to summon 2 Photon tokens. They have a lovely 2000 defense, but that's not why we use them. We use them because we can now use them as a single card link to, and we're going to now link away these 2 tokens to summon out Union Carrier. This turns Union Carrier into a really good searcher and extender for the deck, and Union Carrier, when it is link summoned, allows us to target one face-up monster on the field. We're going to target itself, and then you can equip a card with either the same attribute or type of it from your deck to your hand, and the card we're going to go for is Photon Orbital. This works really nicely with Photon Orbital because Photon Orbital has an equip spell style effect, and that is you can send it to the graveyard and add any galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. And so we're going to go ahead and add ourselves a copy of Galaxy Soldier, which of course, as you know and you've seen in this video, will ideally lead us to a Cyber Dragon Infinity play. Now we're going to start off with Galaxy Soldier by ditching a copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and then we're going to special summon Galaxy Soldier, and that's now going to trigger its onboard effect to add any Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. So we're naturally going to get another copy of Galaxy Soldier, so we can have 2 5s on board. Now I'm always very aware whether that I should be playing under Nibiru, but I make a mistake here. I actually go ahead and play Photon Sanctuary. I didn't really need to activate this card at this point here, and if my opponent decides, you know what, now it's a good time to Nibiru you, then you know what, I would have paid the price and I would have deserved all of this. But fortunately he hasn't done so yet. So we're going to play Galaxy Eyes Soldier, and we're going to ditch Ghost Ochre and Snow Rabbit. And now we're going to summon out 2 level 5s, and really at this point I'm thinking, you know what, we're running very close to a quick game made by Nibiru, so let's get some negation on board. Let's make our Cyber Dragon Infinity so we can negate any kind of scary effects my opponent might have. So we XE summon into Nova using the 2 5s, and then we're going to go into our rank 6 and summon out Cyber Dragon Infinity. Infinity is going to hit the board with, I believe, 2400 or 2500 attack. We'll soon find out. 2700 attack, my apologies. And we're going to use its first effect, and this is a common play that I like to do, and that is to absorb the Union Carrier because it's quite weak and there's no point having it on the field. Union Carrier unfortunately cannot be used as a link material the turn it is summoned, so it really doesn't have much use other than, you know, being on the field as an extra body. And you could, I guess, just leave it there and hope that you can use it the next turn, because you can link the summon with it after the turn that you summon it, but I would rather just attach it to Infinity and absorb it so you give yourself an attack boost and more resources to negate with. Now this is what I love about this deck and why I think it's so insane. We managed to summon out all these monsters to a Union Carrier play, to a Cyber Dragon Infinity play, and even have 2 more tokens on the board, and we didn't even use our normal summon. We then just used our normal summon to summon that Galaxy Knight, which then brought back Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to make our number 90 Photon Lord. So we have 2 forms of negation on board, and now we're going to play Pot of Desires without any fear of any kind of negation at all. And now we're going to wrap up this turn by going into a Link 2, and my opponent is, well, we can either go for Soul Flare or we can go for Bujinki. But this, you know what, at this point I'm thinking, you know what, I don't really think I have to be too scared of my opponent here. I'm actually going to go in a little bit hard and see if I can kill him this turn. So we are going to actually take our number 90, and we're going to use it as materials to summon our rank 9 monster, Galaxy Eye Cipher Blade Dragon. A Galaxy Eye Cipher Blade can detach a material from it to destroy any card on the field. So let's destroy his face down card and see what we get. And it's an Exploder Dragon. This tells me my opponent is using some very early cards. These are cards which you get with the start of the game, so maybe I don't really have to be worried about what my opponent does here. So we're going to try and go for the kill here. At the moment we have, let's see, we have 2,000, 4,900, plus 3,200, that's 7,900, we have 8,100 damage on the board, so this should be enough to go for game. So we're going to summon Galaxy Eye Soul Flare Dragon, and we're going to be able to add back a Galaxy Eye Photon Dragon, and we're going to try and attack and swing at my opponent. My opponent is going to have a think about me attacking him. And he chooses to respond with Karibo. I was so surprised by this. I was like, really, Karibo? Wow, okay. You know what, I'm not going to negate a Karibo, just whatever, I'll take it. Even though I could have won this turn, so he said, you know what, dude, you can have it. You can have the Karibo. I'll give you an extra turn and see what you can do with this. So, if I had negated it, I guess I could have won, but in case he had something like Battle Fader, I thought, you know what, let me save my Infinity Negate, so I'm not going to spend it on a Karibo, so, you know, it is what it is. So, my opponent draws a card. He now special summons out Elector, Sovereign of Birds. Elector has an effect where you can special summon it if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters of the same attribute, and you can special summon this card from your hand. We can also negate a face-up card on the field, so I'm thinking this could be a problem. He probably wants to negate my Infinity, so I can't deal with this. What I should have really done is, in response to the summon, I could have just destroyed it immediately with Soul Flare Dragon. Don't know why I didn't do that. I kind of guess I forgot that I had the effect. Who knows? So now he's going to try and destroy it. In fact, my Cipher Blade, which really doesn't do anything, but we're going to destroy his Soul Flare Dragon anyway. So we're going to do that by discarding the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and pop his card. I say that his card will destroy it, he doesn't, it just negates my Cipher Blade. And Cipher Blade really can't do anything during his turn anyway, so we'll get back the effect later on and can pop more cards during my next turn if I need to do so. So now we're going to destroy his Elector and see if my opponent has any other kind of effects. And yeah, Cypher's going to get negated. And that's going to be it. That's the game. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've tried to give, you know, a rough idea of what Galaxy Eyes Photon can kind of do in the current format. I had a real good time and enjoyed really playing with this deck, and I will post the deck profile of this a little bit later on. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, do leave me a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and if you ever want to duel me, feel free to add me on PSN, and I'd love to duel you. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. I will see you soon. Take care.